This is Talk of the Town, a weekly program featuring community events happening in and around Northeast Michigan. With your host, Bradley Summers. And get the latest from Alpena Community College with ACC President Dr. Don McMaster. And now, today's Talk of the Town.
Good morning and welcome to Talk of the Town. I'm your host, Bradley Summers, and today I have two very wonderful guests. My first guest is Frances Omani from NEMSCA, who is the Marketing and Communications Director. I know I got that wrong.
That's okay.
I know I got it wrong.
That's okay. Communication and Development Director.
And Development Director, I apologize.
That's
I'm
okay.
Sorry, it's a mouthful. But I know it's really important as to what you're doing and accomplishing in the community. We're kind of saying just even before the show was, NEMSCA has such a wonderful reputation in our community because they help in so many different facets to everything that's going on. And, with your position, I know, I've had other people from NEMSCA on that talk about the aging program and talk about other elements, but, as the planning director, what exactly is, and development director, what is your job in the community?
Great. First off, thank you for having me on. I appreciate it very much. So as a communication and development director, it's actually an umbrella over a lot of different things, but one of my favorite things I get to do are things like this. So this job was created a few years back to provide that education regarding our agency out in the communities, because as you said, we have a variety of different programs that we offer in a lot of different locations. So even though people have maybe heard of NEMSCA or might be able to think of one or two programs, we're still what we call the best kept secret, right? Because we have over 30 programs here in Alpena County and in all of our other core county areas. So that's one of the things that I do is I provide that education component, and I try to do outreach events and do presentations and act as that face of NEMSCA when I can for the agency as a whole. I also manage our website, social media, and I have a great team that works with me that it does fund developing and data processing and things like that. So. Wow,
so you definitely have your hands into a lot of different things, and you stay very busy.
For sure, yeah.
And I know just, on a professional level too, you've come to the Boys and Girls Club to run programs. So, these opportunities aren't just for adults in the community, but it's for all ages.
Right, right. So one of the things that I always try to start with when I talk a little bit about NEMSCA, which of course stands for Northeast Michigan Community Service Agency. We always say our acronym wrong, so it should be NEMSCA, but we always say NEMSCA because it just sounds better. But we're a community action agency. So just a little bit about 101 about what community action agencies are to start off with is that we were created, or community action agencies were created all over the nation after the Economic Opportunity Act of 1964 was passed from President Lyndon Johnson, which was directly after the war on poverty was declared in our country. So that happened in 1964, and Northeast Michigan was on top of it because NEMSCA was created just a short time after that, actually, in 1968. So we've been around a long time, and we've grown and evolved quite a bit too. So when I do presentations, one of the things that I usually start off with is I usually say, who has heard of NEMSCA? And most people are like, yeah, I've heard of NEMSCA. And I say, well, can you think of one program we provide in your community? And usually people start nodding their head and they'll be like, yeah. And I'll say, okay, well, who can think of 10 programs that we provide? And usually everybody's faces go blank because we do provide a lot of programs. We do provide over 30. And as you said, referring to your question, is that therefore what we like to call in our organization is we provide programs from cradle to grave, or in another way saying from sunrise to sunset of people's lives. So anywhere from when families find out they're pregnant. We have programs such as Early Head Start to provide assistance for somebody that is expecting a child or when that baby's born up to age 3. And then of course we're known for Head Start, Great Start Readiness Preschool program. That's by far our largest 2 programs. And then we also have School Success Partnership Program, where we have liaisons that are in the public schools that provide that extra assistance for students that so that they can become successful. And then going into some of our other programs for like homeless prevention, food commodities, volunteer programs, weatherization, and then what we call the sunset aspect of it is we're also declared the Region 9 Area Agency on Aging. So we provide programs for our seniors in our communities as well. So that is basically us in a nutshell and everything that we do.
That's a great explanation of all the service, most of the services that you're doing.
Right.
And the community service aspect of it isn't just volunteering in the community and things. It's the service and the actionable things that you were talking about, you know, from the aging process. So it isn't just showing up to pack some food commodity boxes.
Right.
There's a lot more that you have out there.
Correct. Yes.
You know, and from what I'm understanding too is that you're the perfect person to contact if someone wants to volunteer for one of these programs.
Oh, absolutely, yes. So we have 4 specific volunteer programs. 2 are called Foster Grandparent and Senior Companion Program. The 3rd is Retired Senior Volunteer Program. And then we have a relatively new program that's called the Shine Bright Program. And so if anybody's interested in volunteering for any of those programs, or maybe wanting to come out and help pack food for our distributions or things like that, they can absolutely go to our website. And there's a tab that says, you know, get involved, and then they can request more information, or they can contact me directly too, and I can get them to where they need to go as well. So we're always looking for volunteers.
You know, and I know it's a great way for, you know, sports teams in the community, now that the weather's starting to warm up and it's starting to ramp up and really start feeling like spring and the warmer weather is upon us. You know, more sports teams are very active in the community right now, and it's a great way for you to do a team building exercise, to come out and pack some food boxes at the commodities in the warehouse in Ossining or your other locations, and, you know, just really do something together as a team, and then help the community as well.
Right, for sure.
Yeah. Any special upcoming events that you have going on that you would like to talk about?
Sure. So we always have a variety of events, and just to kind of reiterate how large we are, you know, we do cover 11 counties in Northeast Michigan, but we touch into 22 counties with at least one program. So we're by far the largest community action agency in the state of Michigan geographically. So we always have events going on. It just depends on what the location is, and they also can be found on the website because we have a calendar. Specific to this region over here, we have actually a volunteer event coming up. Now it's in Oscoda, so it's, you know, a little south of us here. But on the 28th of April, there's an Oscoda beach cleanup that our volunteer program director, Rick Hutchin, is kind of overseeing. So if anybody's interested in doing an event like that, they can connect with us or connect with Rick regarding that as well. We have a caregiver empowerment conference that's going on in one of our southern counties on Monday, actually. So that's super exciting that we're providing a day-long activity that day as well. And one of the things that I'm really proud of that's not kind of related to events, but it's something that I would kick myself if I didn't mention it during this event, is that last fall our organization was given an award as a top workplace within the whole state of Michigan. So we were declared top workplace by the Detroit Free Press and went down and received that award. And that's the 3rd time our agency has received an award at that level since 2010. So we're super proud of that. That was based on employee satisfaction surveys. So with that, I want to give a little, you know, plug too, that if anybody wants to join our team, we have a variety of different positions that are open on our website as well for many of our programs. So
awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much. That's the end of our segment.
Oh,
it went
right.
fast, didn't
Yeah,
it?
it did.
Yeah, thank you so much. As the Communications and Development Director.
You did it, nailed it.
I nailed it that time, and I apologize I got it
That's
wrong, but
okay.
it sounds like you're doing such a great job there, and I'm happy to hear about the accolades that NEMSCA is
Right,
receiving,
right.
and thank you so much for being on the show
no
today.
problem. Thank you.
Stay tuned after the break for Stephanie Gondula with the Thunder Bay National Marine Sanctuary. Welcome back, everyone. My next guest is Stephanie Gondula from the Thunder Bay National Marine Sanctuary. Hello. hello.
Hello, wonderful to be here.
Well, thanks again for being here.
Yes.
As always, I love talking to you and finding out all the wonderful things that are going on as the maritime archaeologist. We were saying like the different ways and different titles, but
Right.
I think that one sounds like the most fun.
It's pretty fun, and there's a whole bunch of us maritime archaeologists at the sanctuary, so.
And I know maritime means the nautical sense,
That's
not the let's have a merry time.
But we do often have a merry time.
Absolutely. You know, it's always laughs, and it's always a lot
Right.
of fun to engage with anybody that's involved with your organization. You know, especially with all the cool things that are being discovered out there. And, you know, I understand too that you were just bestowed a wonderful award.
That's right. Super exciting. The National Marine Sanctuary won what's called the Pure Award at the Governor's Conference on Tourism, which is a really fun, amazing conference every year in Grand Rapids. It's the state conference, and then there's like over 600 people that come from all over the state, of course, from different destinations, from different economic development centers. Really neat bunch of people to learn from, to learn what's happening across the state in tourism and sustainable tourism. And that's what our award, that's what the Sanctuary Award was all about, was sustainable heritage and natural resource tourism. And it was so fun to be a part of that, but really that award is for the community. I mean, we could not have done it without the wonderful embracing community that Northeast Michigan, that Alpena is. So it's an award for Alpena.
Yeah, well, congratulations
Yes, thanks.
to you and your team. You know, anything sustainable in our area is a beautiful thing. And, you know, it's been awesome for, you know, just for me to look across the river and see NOAA and the Thunder Bay National Marine Sanctuary, and then read about all these wonderful things that you're discovering and the awards, and, you know, and then work directly with your team with Huron Pines and stewardship and, you know, and the education piece,
Right.
you know, which, you know, was a lead in to, you know, talking about the kids and talking about some of the educational things that you're also doing. And I know those are ramping up right now too, right?
They are, they're more like continuing, really. So there's that Get Into Your Sanctuary program with third graders in partnership with Alpena Public Schools that we just launched last year. And we're right now scheduling the 4th visit of each and every third grader that's part of the system to go on the glass bottom boat. And so, you know, a lot of the classrooms have gone on field trips on the glass bottom boat, but we have a new batch, if you will, coming up that missed field trips for the last few years. So third graders, they're learning how to do field trips, and it's been a lot of fun to host them at the sanctuary. But the most exciting will be getting them out into the sanctuary, out on the water, seeing shipwrecks firsthand. These classroom cruises will not just be about shipwrecks, though. We like to focus on the other science happening in the sanctuary, science to understand climate change, to understand freshwater acidification, to understand invasive species. And so these students will get to do some hands-on science and actually assist and contribute to those studies.
Now, and your team has a full curriculum of I know you said there's a lot of different things that they're going to do hands-on, but, you know, I know Daniel Moffitt that's there, you know, he does a wonderful job with engaging young people. And, you know, we've said this before on the show, is the stewardship of our Great Lakes is so vital, you know, to the preservation of it going forward. And it starts with the kids.
Oh my gosh, it starts with the kids, and we're relying on them to continue it and do a better job, and hopefully giving them the tools to protect our Great Lakes and its rich history, but the entire ecosystem. And I think that's exactly right. You hit the nail on the head with starts with the youth, and with really embedding that stewardship ethic and drive. And what better way to do that than get them out on the water, or get them out on a field trip to North Point Shores, where you know, we have our partners, Huron Pines and the Northeast Michigan Great Lakes Stewardship Initiative. Of course, we need all these partners. And you mentioned looking across the river, and Daniel and I were just talking as we were looking across the river. We have to get our Boys and Girls Club programs buttoned up. You know, we have lots of great plans that we talked about when the snow was falling, but now we've got to get those programs with the Boys and Girls Partnership, because what a rich program that is for those youth as well.
Well, and there's some kids that get to take advantage of it that may not normally be able to
Right.
take advantage of some of these things. And we have a lot of kids that visit during the summertime
Right.
that live in different communities that may not have access to one of 17 NOAA organizations throughout our country and international.
Well, there's 15 designated sites and then 2 national marine monuments, so just a little bit different designation. But to summarize that, it's over 600,000 square miles of our country's protected waters, protecting natural resources and cultural. So that's a whole bunch of space, over
Yeah.
600,000 square miles that the National Marine Sanctuary System is charged with protecting.
And if anybody out there hasn't visited the website or their social media page, it's really cool to see some of the cool underwater, like aquatic life that's being discovered, or some of the things to look forward to as the weather warms up that we might be able to see. And it's just, and of course, the shipwreck that was just discovered not too long ago. Any updates on that?
No updates really, except for, wow, we couldn't believe the coverage, and that's still sort of rolling and getting some great feedback from that. People reaching out that, hey, I heard about you, I want to come visit. And so that's exciting. I guess our next big, mentioning on the water things, in addition to those classroom cruises and really connected, is launching our mooring buoy program.
Cool.
So we got to get those mooring buoys out there. We have them on over 50 sites, and that is really helpful for the glass bottom boat to visit the shipwrecks with the guiding mooring buoy there, but for snorkelers and other paddlers and divers, of course, recreational divers, technical divers, to find those shipwrecks and safely access them. So that's a big lift, a lot of work to get those mooring buoys out there. But it's also a great time of year to be diving. It's cold, yes, but the visibility is so clear.
Oh, I bet too, without the silt and the stuff moving all over the place. Just to wrap things up to, it's almost the end of our time already, is, the Lady Michigan too. We talked about the kids and the cruises for them and the educational opportunities, but, for the general public as well, what are some of those updates?
Well, the Lady Michigan's in the water already, so I think it may be the earliest time that it's splashed, which is super exciting. So getting it all tidied up and spiffy for a full season. Classroom cruises on the shoulder seasons, but then the Viking expedition ships will be visiting 20 times. When they come, they take 4 cruises out in a full day, and then the rest of the time 3 cruises a day through much of the summer. So public cruises will be launching the middle of May on the weekends.
Awesome.
But then just stay tuned, and there'll be lots of opportunities to get out on the boat, whether it's just come for a cruise and see the shipwrecks, or even some specialized programming. We partner with Art in the Loft to do some cool art projects out there in the bay. Stay tuned for more information on that. But programs and just a cruise through Thunder Bay is always a good time, whether you've done it before or not.
And Captain Matt will be very happy to engage anybody that'll come on the boat.
Absolutely.
I'm excited that he's the new captain.
I am too. He's going to do a great job.
Well, thank you again, my friend, for being here.
Thank you.
And talking about all the wonderful things the Thunder Bay National Marine Sanctuary is doing.
Yes, thank you very much, Bradley.
Thank you all for joining us today as we continue to go down the road of all the wonderful nonprofits in our community and visit all the wonderful leaders that run and engage the community in the things that they're doing. Stay tuned after the break for the ACC segment. Have a great day.
Greetings, everyone, and welcome to Talk of the Town. I'm Dr. Don McMaster, president of Alpena Community College, and I'm pleased to have as our guest this morning Lori Nugent, coordinator of the Alpena Early College partnership between APS and ACC. Welcome, Lori.
Thank you for inviting me.
Alpena Early College is just a phenomenal program, and many people know about it, but many don't. So if you could speak to what Alpena Early College is, why don't we start there?
Sounds good. There's a lot to it, but in a nutshell, it's for students to complete an extra year of high school in order to achieve as many credits toward an associate's or certificate as possible within reason. So the minimum, we can give them 15 credits minimum at a C or better. They can go all the way to an associate's degree. So anywhere in between, whatever's comfortable for them and what's realistic for scheduling. They apply in their 10th grade year, and they have to be coded as early college in our system at the high school by the first day of the junior year. So currently, I have 70 applicants for cohort 10. This is our 10th year in the program. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So they do some volunteer work as part of the program too. That's a requirement. 100 volunteer hours, plus their 15 credits, and attendance and communication with me, checking in with me, all of those good things.
Wonderful. Yeah, that, so 70 potentially incoming juniors.
Correct.
And really the arrangement is a 3-year commitment,
Right.
you might say.
Right.
Junior, senior, and then that 13th year where they're mostly over at ACC, but they take one class with APS.
Right. So 11th grade, typically one class each semester. In college, the rest of the classes are high school. 12th grade, about 3 classes college, 1 at the high school, depending on what they want. Some students are really into their business programs at the high school or band and such. So we don't limit them there. They can take as much at the high school as they want.
It's
And-
a student's choice.
Yes, and then 13th year, most of them really don't want to be on the high school campus their 13th year, and nor is it required. All of their classes can be the college, at the college or part of the college, whether it's online, remote, or in person. So because they still count toward our funding because they're considered high school classes.
Yeah, and that is really the genius of the model. And it has been popularized statewide.
Yes.
But really, the Alpena Early College template is something that's very widely respected statewide. You may or may not know this. You probably know.
I know a little bit. I get asked for things quite often. People who
Yeah.
are just starting up their own program, asking for advice, asking for examples of what we do, templates of what we use. So I'm happy to share those.
Yeah, your predecessor, Lee Fitzpatrick, is a champion of it.
Yes, indeed.
And an advocate and a persuasive person.
Yeah.
One thing that distinguishes, I think, one of many things that distinguishes the Alpena Early College is the support and the understanding of the need for support, especially in the junior year, that allows students a better chance to succeed.
Right, the mentorship is a huge piece, and I stress it when I interview every applicant with their parents, and we stress the whole concept of how mentoring is important, where I help the students adjust to college life, all of the little ins and outs of what it takes to be a successful college student, so that they have a better chance, so they're coached along the way, all the way through their 13th year. I'm still requiring meetings their 13th year, so 4 meetings a semester.
Yeah, and that's wonderful, and that's work.
It is.
It's good work.
It's good work, right, there you go.
Yeah, but
Right.
it is so pivotal. I mean, research shows it, and just kind of intuition and common sense. The more you interact with students, really the better it is for
Right,
them.
exactly.
You have an upcoming graduation.
I do.
Yes.
Yes, May 12th. Yes, I have about 55 students who will be walking across the stage as part of the early college commencement.
Yeah.
Some of them will get an associate's or certificate through ACC the day before.
Yeah.
So usually the average is about 51 credits. That's going back historically even. Once about year 3 of the program, so we're in cohort 10 coming up. Year 3, it started 51 was the average, and it's been consistent, right around
Yeah.
that 51 credits toward the 60.
Yeah.
So it's exciting.
That is,
Right.
That's
It is.
that's very exciting, and it's such an important metric. I mean, people may not realize, the student or the student's parents are not paying tuition to ACC for
Right.
this, and so the bill is funded by APS through dollars they receive from the state
It
for
really
each
is.
student.
Yes, which is another part of the position is understanding all of that and making sure that students understand that we take care of books, we take care of tuition, we take care of other fees along the way. If an instructor thinks they need a copy of the periodic table that's offered at the bookstore, we can take care of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's a wonderful part. you
It
know.
is, yeah, it helps with families.
One thing that is a little aside, but it pertains, is last year we worked with both the NJCAA and the state of Michigan to get
Right.
language changed for early college students to participate in their 13th year in
Yeah.
community college athletics.
Very exciting.
Yeah, kind of a small number of kids, but they were passionately wondering why they couldn't.
Right.
Which-
Of course they were. Right. Yeah.
Which was exactly the right question. Why can't we? And then,
Right.
We started there and got that changed.
Right. What a great opportunity for them to continue with their passion, right, about their sport. So it's interesting you say that, because in my interviews, I've had a few students step up and really push that ACC takes on soccer.
Really?
So just so you know,
Oh, okay, good.
they might be coming in and pushing that a little bit.
Oh,
So good
that's-
for them.
Well, we're definitely in the mindset based on our baseball experience of expanding the number of sports we offer.
Sure, I would imagine that's the next move. Yeah.
And men and women's soccer have some promise, you think?
Okay. Yeah.
You
yeah.
do?
Oh, based on my interviews thus far.
Very good.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we got about 45 seconds
Okay.
left. I would, love to hear what your thoughts are on what brings you the most pleasure in this work that you do,
Yeah.
and feel free to speak on that.
Of course, seeing students successful, seeing those gains, it's really, even if it seems like it's small, it can be big to a student, right, and a family. And those opportunities, just working with students, I just really had to get back working with students, because that's my training in
Yeah.
education. So it's very rewarding to work with them. It's busy, but it's good kind of busy. Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's just seeing their gains,
Yeah.
their confidence built and their ability to be successful when they do branch out, if they do branch out and go elsewhere.
Yeah. Well, thank you for the work you do, Lori.
Thanks for
Appreciate
having
it.
me. Yeah.
Yes. Thank you, folks, for watching Talk of the Town. We'll see you again next week.
Clear.
This has been Talk of the Town with your hosts Bradley Summers and Dr. Don McMaster. For a list of community events taking place in Northeast Michigan, please visit our website at WBKB11.com and click on our community link. This has been a Thunder Bay Broadcasting Corporation production. All rights reserved.